Don't mind me, I'm just gonna draw on the mini map. Sorry. This is Dust though, and I'm here, and we are in map number 2 here on DE Inferno. Pissed around already live, and we can see a huge push on Banana here from Enemy Invert. Gonna be able to do a little bit of damage and drop back. And there's also 2 people inside the site, so a 3-man stack at the B bomb site here as Enemy stages up. So this could go real rough for Enemy real quick if they commit to this. I mean, yeah, look at Drake. They pushed out. They have all the information.
They didn't keep pushing. They just kind of halted what they were doing and waiting for any kind of information here. Probably preparing some smokes here. It looks like.
Yep,
there they go. Starting to execute on B now. Drossel peeking over the smoke there, trying to get him with this USP. Does a little bit of damage. Invert manages to get Uber. Do more. Drops Anomaly. Man, they're just dropping like flies. Orgless gets a flawless round.
I mean, I don't know what the equivalent would be called in Counter-Strike, but in StarCraft it's called a build order loss, which is like the moment you set up your build order, you've already lost just because the other person has done something perfect to counter it. And that's pretty, I guess it's called a setup loss, like the way you set up, you just lost automatically. Just because, Invert got the information, Banana. There was already 2 people in the B bomb side as well, backing him up, anticipating a B rush. And then on top of that, you had Stanislaw and Drake, push through apartments and get into alt mid and, super confirm that was happening and get a fast flank off. So, I mean, Enemy just, I mean, they the way they set up and the way, Orgless played their CT round, they were just, screwed, basically. I don't know what else to say, really. And now, Enemy, I mean, they will try to Tech 9 armor up here, see if they can't force something out. Playing pretty slow, pretty spread out across the map, or listen to more default CT setup this time around. Kind of double pit, but 1 arch and 2 in the B site.
Yep, it looks like they're heading towards mid here, although the bomb is still over at Banana. And the CT's playing pretty carefully. They get that initial peek, and then they just back off to the site and hold it. Pretty good strategy on their part. They're not letting them get any free kills on them. And it looks like Drake is heading back towards B slowly, but he's keeping an eye on Arches here. Oh, he just managed to miss 3 of them, about to peek him at Arches. And he's hoping to hold B site here. Smoked off, though. He's just spamming through the smoke a little bit.
Oh,
doesn't manage to see the main line taking out Drake with a... Yeah, they flanked him, right? They flanked through CT spawn, and now they pretty much almost have control of B site here. They have to take down Stanislaw in dark. They managed to get him. The bomb is down, not planted yet. They got 20 seconds to get that planted. I'm sure they'll pick that up. And here it is. They're planting over by Gorilla, looks like. Invert getting taken down by mainline, and now Dumore all alone with the P90 spraying down Kusta. There's still 2 of them left. Uber is lit. 26 down, or 26 health there. Pinched between 2 spots there. He can't look 2 directions at once.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty deadly crossfire, right? I mean, you had to swing a 180 to be able to complete that, basically. And, I mean, that's kind of a build or loss in the other direction, basically. I mean, Enemy just being able to pinch into Arch and Banana was just such a key timing, to slip into Arches just as, that player in CT spawn looked away and headed back towards the B bomb site to stack it up there with 3. And the fact that, the rest of Orcs was playing double pit, so no eyes on Arch, obviously. And that was just such a crazy timing, right? For Enemy to slip through Arch right as that guy rotated B with no one else to have eyes on it.
Yeah, that would have changed the round completely if he had managed to see them. And
oh, yeah, absolutely, because he would have maybe been able to get a kill or just at least anticipate the flank, and as well as have his people in the double pit set up be able to start rotating earlier. So yeah, that timing was crucial, and it's even back up now, 1-on-1. Orgless, though, actually buying up a little bit here. Then they got the Mag 7 on Invert, 5-7 armor, so they're trying to break Enemy right back. Basically, they know that Enemy's economy is limited, so if they can just sneak around in here, they can break their money right back. So that was the goal. They did lose a player at Banana already, however.
Yeah, not working yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being a man down here is a little bit tough. That's going to force them to kind of just leave B exposed with 1 player. Dumore playing pretty passive with Archo, so we can try to quick rotate, but Enemy are going to go ahead and work their way up mid. And looks like no, never mind. They're going to fall back to B. Invert there alone, trying to hold, the smoke here, but he's going to get pushed back and he gets caught.
Yeah, but now they pretty much have free reign to enter into B, although there is 1 CT rotating through CT spawn now. He manages to get into construction. I guess he wants to see if he can get him from spools. No, he doesn't quite push up to spools yet. Now he manages to peek Anomaly, getting a headshot. Bomb's going to get planted by mainline. And now it's 3-on-3. Dumore spotting mainline up on those boxes there. Manages to get a Galil. Can he do anything with this? Stanislaw taking one down with the Mac 10. Relic's getting a double kill, though. Now Drake all alone has to defuse this bomb.
Only
They're
he
both
had
at
a
new
nade.
box.
Oh man.
Yeah, if he had a grenade, they'd both be dead behind that box right now. 28 health, 35 health. Does manage to get one, but it's not enough.
Enemy just, you know, getting that opening pick and just working with it. You know, I mean, Orgless being a man down had to kind of gamble towards one side of the map, and they gambled towards A side, leaving Invert alone at B, and he got caught. And at that point, I mean, it was what, like a 4-on-2. So I mean, Dumore tried to make a play there, but it just didn't work out. And Enemy able to hold off Orgless. Orgless now forced to take pretty much a full save here. We'll get a couple of P250s, but other than that, you know, no armor, only one smoke on Dumore. And they will stack 4 towards the B bomb site here. So hoping that maybe Enemy will fall into some type of late B hit, and they can just hope to win some gun battles. But I mean, that's really the only chance they have, and it's a necessary gamble though. I mean, this is really the only way you could possibly win around is if they hit B here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, EnemyGG has to know that something is up because there wasn't any activity at Banana yet. You know, obviously they've got the smoke here now, but they were creeping up and no one challenged them at all, which is, you know, somewhat different than what Orgless was doing before, where they would at least peek Banana and then immediately fall back. So they know that their strategy has changed a little bit. They might be wary of a stack and B.
Exactly. I mean, Enemy knows the economy situation of Orgless, so they have to know that something's up here. But Drake is able to get a pick onto Uber inside the apartments, but mid has been taken. They're actually falling back, but somehow he escapes mainline trying to chase after him, but a MAC-10 comes out from Drake and he gets 2 kills. That's actually quite a lot of damage for just one player over there in the apartments to do. And now we have Dumore, who has rotated to A, but they're still holding that triple B stack. And if this turns into a late B hit, well, I mean, the stack could actually work out, but no, it looks like they're just going to bring it up.
Yeah, they're not taking any bait here. They're just keeping on A, working it as much as they can, hearing it out, because it feels a lot safer than B, which had no activity earlier. And now Anomaly taking down Dumore. They have control of the site. Bomb's going to go down here. And now the CTs are rotating, 2 through CT spawn and 1 through Banana. Stanislaus now up in alt mid, going towards apartments. Drossel pushing with his teammate here around by library. Did he manage to spot Anomaly? He only had 8 health. Maybe he was just taking a chance shot. I would think that he would have seen him there. And now Stanislaus all alone. I mean, he's smoking mid there.
He's kind of in a fragile situation, just saving this to AK, also trying to look for exits, but it looks like no one's gonna exit in his direction. Everyone exits through, you know, Arch and Library. Relics will just stay inside the pit where he knows he can survive. And Stanislaus, I mean, you could see him maybe... No, never mind. He can't get there in time. I thought maybe like he might late peek pit, but he just wants to make sure he holds on to this AK, because money, of course, is still pretty tight on the CT side. So, you know, not having to do that extra buy, you know, is money for later on. But Enemy, off to a good start here on the T side. And we saw them earlier this season. They had a really good T side, in fact, against 3s up. And that's the one time they played Inferno before tonight. And they actually won based off of being able to put, you know, like 7 rounds on the T side that game. So already off to a good start here. Orgless also has a couple of Inferno wins under their belt, beating Follow Esports and Mythic, but those both relied on double-digit CT sides. You know, that was where they got the majority of their rounds, and so far they're off to a slower start, but this is really our first gun-on-gun round, right? So there's still plenty of opportunities for Orgless to kind of establish themselves and get that traditional number you see on the CT side for this map of like 10 or more.
Yeah, Drossel was trying to peek Banana there, but he gets flashed and just backs off immediately. Doesn't worry about trying to get any more information. There is a boost up on top of Porch there from the CTs, so if they try to come through mid here, they're going to have a little surprise on their hands. And it looks like now they're pushing through. Dumore, he was trying to avoid a flash, but he didn't peek back. He didn't look back in time in order to try to do any damage. It's taken down right away. Now T's have control of the bomb site at A. Going to go for the plant. Drake just waiting for some of his teammates.
And I mean, Orgless might even be thinking about just saving again here, because they wouldn't be able to buy next round, and at least this saves 3 rifles for next round. They really don't have a platform to launch from to even try to retake here. I mean, there's still 5 up for Enemy, and you have like no information, no positioning. So yeah, you'll just begin to see them start drawing back. And so Enemy will take another round here. Just, you know, like you saw that boost on Porch, as you mentioned, but, you know, just being able to smoke off the left side and just basically focus all their guns up mid, all 3 towards Porch. I mean, they were just able to pick up on it. Plus, they had a nice pop flash that Dumore had to worry about that pretty much canceled out his ability to get the jump on him, so to speak. I mean, they probably just, like, when they came out mid, they just saw him doing the flashbang dance up top, and, I mean, that was cleared out, so...
Well, at least that's one gun gone from EnemyGG there with that kill just before the round switched over. Not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things, I don't think, though. They've got plenty of money.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's not a crazy amount, but it's definitely still enough to where like their first loss isn't going to lead to a save. You know, Orgless CT economy is in really, really bad shape. It's you know, obviously more expensive to be a CT. Rifles are more expensive. You got to worry about the fuse kit. So they're the ones that have pressure on them. I mean, they're one loss away. I mean, from having to save again despite a maximum loss bonus. That would be a really tight buy. They would probably be forced to take some kind of save. So this could really quickly turn into 6-1 if they can't come up with this. And we'll see enemy just working default for now. I mean, they got anomaly towards B. Everyone else is just working apps and mid control. And we do have this, you know, default setup for Orgless as well. You know, double pit, one arch is kind of how they've been playing this half, and we're going to be doing it again here. And,
yeah, I don't think they've been utilizing smokes over at B as much as they could be. You know, they don't have an arch player who's smoking over, I don't think. So it's a much easier time for them to take B site if they aren't having to deal with all those smokes all the time.
Well, I mean, Orgless is on low utility this round.
Yeah,
they could barely even afford to get rifles. They got Demore and a FAMAS, so they kind of had to sacrifice utility to have rifles, and that's why you're not seeing it this round. I'm sure once they get the money, they will, but they're trying to force themselves through a smoke here on the arch side, but they do get an even trade, so they got a 3-on-3, but there's still 2 remaining members here in pit, and this is really hard to play against, but Kusta making it work for now.
Yep, 2v3, the bomb's going to go down, but no, Invert stops that bomb plant at the truck. Tries to get another, but he doesn't manage to get it. Now Drossel all alone. He could manage to save this round. Yes, only one left for him to take down. Relic's 22 health. Gonna get... No, he's just gonna fake that bomb plant.
Oh,
he should have taken that shot.
Back out. Yeah, I mean, that was all... Like, there must have been some kind of miscommunication there, because Relics was actually planning on the opposite side of default box towards the rotation, towards library and arch. So I don't know if someone, you know, thought that they had heard a mid or apartments, and so Relics thought he needed to plant away from that spot. And then obviously, like, I guess since he was getting shot by a silencer, he didn't even know where he was getting shot from at first. So must have been some kind of confusion there with the communication, and that kind of cost them the round, to be honest. And it also bailed Orgless out of a tough economic spot. You know, like I said, their money was real low. So now that they won that round, great. But now the money reset is a fear. But same with Enemy. I mean, their money was just reset. So, I mean, they're at low cash as well. So whoever loses this is saving.
Yeah, but now Drossel is pushing up a little bit here, trying to get some information. Backs off again. Again, I don't think he managed to see anyone before he backed off. And Anomaly flashed backing off a little bit. They're again, not... Well, there's a smoke, finally.
That's all they have, actually, unless they're going to get one from... Well, I'm trying to think who would throw it. Like, Drossel and Invert are the 2 people with... Yeah, I guess Drossel at B still has one more smoke, so they can refresh this one more time.
Seems like... Did they refresh that a little early? I feel like he threw that maybe just
probably
a little bit early.
So. Because now, I mean, there's still going to be like 30 seconds left on the clock, maybe a little over 30 seconds whenever they actually execute. But, and neither has an incendiary either, so yeah, this could be a little tough.
Yeah, and here they come. Stanislav blind, retreating back through that smoke there. Drossel spamming through the smoke. Looks like it is now 4-on-3, trying to get a bomb plant. Sprays through the smoke to try to stop it, but didn't manage to hit him. And now 3-on-3, got to retake this site. Drake finding Relics there. Yeah, Relics. Now pushing through construction here. Dumore coming up. Banana swapping out a gun. Anomaly finds Drake. Mainline just trying to stay alive in the dark spot there. Anomaly taken down. And Mainline manages to take down the last one.
Right. I mean, that was like Enemy doing a little bit of a different variation on B. I mean, everyone expects to smoke some spools and CT spawn and just running into the site. But Enemy threw something out there that you do see sometimes. It's an old tactic that Fnatic actually used to run back when Devilwalk was still a player on that team. So that was ages ago, where you actually smoke the stairs and actually attacking the CT spawn and plant inside the smoke rather than actually having to worry about clearing the oranges and clearing the back of site and clearing, you know, spools. Like it's a very shallow hit into the site that you can just kind of plant, and then you can fall back even banana, because I mean you can spot it from there. So this is a little bit of a different take on the B bomb site. Works out well for Enemy. It was still kind of close though, right? I mean the retake was, you know, got it into a 1v1 after all. So I mean it was still pretty close, but it was Enemy winning it nonetheless. And now they have Orc on another save, which means they can, you know, push the issue even further and probably get a 6-2 lead. And this has been a really solid T side from Enemy so far.
It looked like Drake pushed into apartments, peeked out the balcony, and got taken out. And now Invert just trying to spam through the smoke there by arches. Get any information he can. Uber taking down Dumore. The CTs are starting to drop out here. Uber pushing into A site. spraying at Invert, doesn't manage to get him, but Kusta getting a double kill. And now Drossel all alone at the B-bomb site. Bomb's
He's about
planted
to
at A.
get wrecked here in a second. Poor guy.
There it is. Firing squad waiting for him.
Yeah, just walking around the corner. And there's a present for you over there. And he got taken down. So enemy up 6-2. And so certainly already, in most people's eyes, this is probably already enough rounds on the T side, actually. Like, even if they lost out the half from here, they'd still have a chance to win in the second half on CT side just based off this alone. Granted, I don't know what it does to your morale, your momentum, if that were to happen, but still a good number. And the fact is Orgless was actually on a double save. They're on 5-7s and P250s yet again. So as long as enemy doesn't fall prey to this push at Banana, but oh no, Drossel with the headshot through the smoke. My
Invert
goodness.
getting 2 of them.
Yeah,
And
this is nuts.
man, EnemyGG has to be feeling some pain after that round, or after that, confrontation there. Kusta taking down one while he's in Mexican there.
And these are the rounds you never want to lose, right? I mean, you're up against a bunch of pistols. You're already having a great T side. You want to just keep pushing it further, and then you get blown up like that. Just trying to force themselves with the smoke at Banana, trying to establish control and use their firepower. But, I mean, Invert hits a couple of nice shots. Drossel hits one through the smoke. Just a lucky shot through. But unfortunately, it just does so much to damage enemy. But they still have 2 guys with AKs that are working together here at Banana. There's only 1 here, so I mean, there's still hope for them to close this out.
Yeah, Stanislaw only had 12 health, and as soon as he saw anything, he backed off immediately. He wasn't going to try to contest that, because he'd die probably immediately. Invert finding Kusta there, a main line, all alone on the T side. 18 health, he's trapped over by the grill. He gets taken down by Invert.
And that was just unfortunate that the one member of Orgless that still had a gun was in fact that player rotating CT spawn that wasn't smoked off, and so you could watch the terrorists cross in, who were just slow walking in, trying to get the jump on the guy playing inside the site. And like I said, they met the 1 AK that Orgless had recycled there from Banana and got taken out. So a missed opportunity there for enemy for sure, not to be able to capitalize on the eco round, but well played from Orgless, just getting aggressive at B and just trying to make a play with the pistols, and it panned out for him there. And so now we're at 3-6, both teams fully bought out, but again, both teams' economy's not that great, though enemy is definitely the one suffering a bit more from it. So still kind of a hat that could go either way at this point. I mean, Orgless kind of has to win out to feel comfortable, so the pressure's still kind of on them.
Yep, and like pushing up into apartments a little bit, just peeking the boiler here. There looks like 2 of them are going to be working that hall there towards Pit. Drake is going to be waiting for them, though. Stanislaw and Invert holding arches here. Only 1 CT still at B. They're pretty confident that they're not going to be going B this time. Flashes, smoke's coming out. They're pushing through mid now towards A. A lot of spray through that smoke. Just trying to see if they can get one. Do more. He saw one of them. He's just kind of patiently waiting for them to get closer, but they back off a little bit.
This is what enemy's been doing all game long. They're just smoking this arch out and just trying to take peeks into lane, just trying to get picks, but they haven't found it yet, so they're starting to back off. And there are 4 playing a crossfire here at mid for Orgless, and they're playing aggressive, and they will find a pick for that. So enemy, forced to fall back into late B. Drossel is alone for a moment, but Invert has already made it back there in time, and even Stanislaw is on his way, so that they should reset in time for this.
Yeah, but now that they're working B site, they frantically have to rotate back through CT spawn. Kind of a mess there through all the flashes and the smokes, and that was cleaned up pretty quick there by Orgless.
I mean, they read it well, right? I mean, as soon as they got that pick at mid and they realized that enemy had fallen back off of brackets and had backtracked through the mid smoke, I mean, they were pretty aware that, hey, this is probably going to be a late B hit. So before enemy even got to B, Invert was already in position, so they basically had their 2 B defenders in position, and Stanislaw, as I said, not too far behind. I think he was already at the well on CT spawn whenever the hit came in. So they were able to scramble, in an appropriate amount of time to prepare for that. And so they'll get the round, and they force enemy onto a save. Very aggressive mid is Orgless, who they're just going to pinch this B hit. My goodness.
Mowing them down. Stanislaw getting that triple kill. Invert gets Anomaly. Stanislaw now a quad kill, cleaning that one up fast.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty crazy stuff there. And I mean, here's Stanislaw going off 15-5 right now, and he's been the guy that's put up big numbers for this team throughout the season. Like when we were doing the Alpha Draft show earlier, back whenever we were trying to cast at CLG match, we kind of mentioned that in the pregame show. And he had a rough game last game though on Overpass. I think he was actually the bottom fragger for Orgless in that particular map, but he's doing great so far here on the CT side, trying to help Orgless make a comeback after having a rough start.
Yep, and now looks like they got a little boost here at the bottom of Banana. An invert waiting with an op in apartments. Two of them heading straight for him right now. Here it comes. He manages to see one. Doesn't get the shot, though. Backs off towards truck. Now, mainline kind of paranoid about boiler there. Expecting maybe for one of them to push.
This was a good adjustment because, I mean, Enemy has been loading up the apartments and working lane quite a lot. So Invert trying to put his op in there and disrupt that. He missed, but, I mean, it's no harm, no foul. He got away. He didn't take any damage. So that was a good shot and Draw Soul getting aggressive. B takes a kill, but it's going to be a mid hit here again from Enemy.
And Drake pushing through that smoke, trying to surprise him, but he gets taken down by Uber right away. And now it's 4v4. Terrorists still all grouped up on A site here, near A site.
Yeah, and they have double pit, so they're still okay if this is a lane hit. Like, they still have a good setup for this. And Stanislaw is keeping his eye on Arch to make sure they're not, wrapping around. So Orgless still has a chance here.
They're going to walk right into the op, but they managed to smoke him out. That's a really good play by them. And did he boost over that smoke there to try to get that pick?
He just jumped on the pole and looked over and got the kill, so...
And now 2 terrorists left. The bomb's going to get planted here. Mainline kind of being a distraction to prevent that, but gets taken down, and Krusta gets Stanislaw, and now he's all alone trying to defend this bomb. 73 health. Drawsoul coming in. They don't know he quite moved his position. Dumore getting a really nice headshot there and a nice defuse.
I mean, the thing is Orgless has been pretty much playing the same CT setup on the A side of the map every single round. It's just someone kind of floating around Arch, being the quick rotator to be, kind of making sure they can't come in the CT spawn. And then you have the double pit set up, typically one balcony, one pit, maybe one pushed up in the apartments, one pit. They're basically playing, double on that side of the map, but in a passive position, not up front on the porch, playing far back. And it's so hard to make your way up lane when people are playing double pit. It's so hard. Like, they have so much control from that area. They can kill so much time. Buy time for rotates, or they can just straight up kill you and crossfire as you come up the lane. And invert.
Kusta. He tried to hide, but his elbow was sticking out. Invert managing to kill him right away. And now the terrorists dropping like flies. There's only 2 of them left. The bomb is down at T stairs. And it looks like they're going back for it right now.
This is going to be tough, though. I mean, they're in a 2v4. They've already taken a lot of damage so early with, Kusta losing the battle there in mid. They also had some aggression at Banana from Drawsoul that takes 2 kills as well. So, I mean, Enemy just, in a really tight spot right now. They're going to try to work together up Banana, but there's still 2 defenders here.
Yep, and now they're just... Looks like mainline retreating out. No, he dropped the bomb, and he's just kind of checking mid to make sure they're not about to get flanked. Uber waiting for the smoke to dissipate before he tries to execute. Drawsoul there, waiting really close on the right side there. With Drake over by Oranges. Ready for this crossfire here as soon as they come through. And here it comes, Uber pushing down. He manages to take down Drake.
Oh,
and Uber gets Drawsoul as well, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big play from Uber, and that's what you need if you're Enemy. I mean, Uber is their main entry fragger. He's one of their main stars as far as putting up numbers. He's had a slow half so far, but that was a big play there from him. And they're going to capitalize on it, looks like. I mean, Dumore's alone in a 1v2. Now, both terrorists are low on HP, so that does help Dumore out a bit, but he's got to find them both.
Yep, and he's coming up here. Fakes him out a little bit with the bomb plant here, or the bomb defused. And mainline now pushing out. Dumore taking down mainline. Can he get Uber? 24 health. Flash going out. He doesn't stick the defuse. Just trying to bait him out, and it works.
Does he have
He's going to get this defuse, no problem.
Yeah, he is going to get it there. He had just enough time to grab it. So, well done there from Dumore. Both players were low on HP, so they kind of had to peek out together, and Dumore capitalizes on that. And I'd really like to see Enemy. I mean, I know we can see everything, right? So it's much easier for us to read, obviously. But I feel like Enemy should have seen it by now that they're playing this double pit setup. They should have sent it out by now the way they've been playing the map. So I'd really like to see them just be a little bit heavier on Arch. Just try to make that wraparound. Rap Moto with some heavy numbers. They're just playing one guy there, and I know they've noticed that by now. So I like to see that adjustment, and we'll see if they ever do take that call.
But still, overall, EnemyGG doing really well on T side. 6 rounds so far. That's a pretty good position to be in, and hopefully they can make it a little bit better for themselves as they go into the CT side.
Ooh, this aggression from Invert. He's actually pushed up into window. He might be able to catch someone off guard here at alt mid, but no, he gets caught. Well done by mainline.
I think that happened. That's the second time that's happened now, where he pushes that balcony and just gets shot.
Yeah, now they will fall back into double pit again here with Drake and Dumore. Stanislaw holding the Arch. So, I mean, Enemy has opened up a potential for a late B hit as well as the ability to attack into a weak archway.
Yeah, you can't really be making mistakes like that where you push up a little too aggressive and just get picked off. If it happens once, You probably shouldn't do it again. Kind of learn your lesson the first time, you know?
Right.
And now
Whoa.
Stanislaw getting a nice kill in mid there. 2 kills, actually, but Anomaly trading him back. Kusta getting Drake, and now it's 1v2 Draw Soul.
Yeah, it's crazy it's got this close, to
mean,
be honest. I thought Enemy was just going to run away with this after they got, you know, the picks to force the rotates. They even got Dumore inside the apartment, so they had everything open to them, but Stanislaw makes a play, puts Draw Soul in a 1v2. Let's see if he can somehow figure it out.
Yeah, he knows that there's one in pit, and he suspected Graveyard, I think, a little bit, but it's too late. Anomaly takes him as he was about to throw something. Don't know what it was.
That's always rough when you're in your 1vx and you pull out a nade, because if they peek you, it's just so over. It's so risky to pull out a nade in a 1vx, and unfortunately he gets caught there. I mean, I get the idea. He knew one was pit. He was trying to see if he could, you know, use a nade to take care of one person while he shot the other, but it's just unfortunate timing there. And so now we're at 7-7, and then this is definitely playing in favor of Enemy, no doubt about it. To have this many rounds on the T side, especially whenever in all the Orgless games I've seen on Inferno, which has granted only been 2, they've won based off of being able to establish a great CT side, you know, get those 10 to 13 rounds, and they're going to be denied that this time, so they're going to have to do a lot more work on Terra side to bring this one home. Stanislaw,
was that kind of a one-way smoke? He was sitting in there trying to get a pick, but he doesn't get anyone. Backs off. Relics, though, is down to 9 health. And Anomaly just kind of jumping over the smoke there, seeing he can spot one. Draw Soul almost ready to peek out and meet him there. Not quite happening yet, though.
Right. I mean, Invert's already started to rotate in the CT spawn, plus there's still 2 in B, and Drake has also gotten a pick mid, so things are looking pretty good here for Orgless, as it will be this late B hit, but Anomaly spams through and grabs a kill.
Yeah, he saw him just, you know, just a little bit and knew exactly where to fire, even though the smoke popped up right before he started shooting. And now Draw Soul is about to get taken down. Only one left. Relics, 9 health.
Right.
If they just throw a nade at him, he's dead. He's got to play this really carefully.
Yeah, I mean, he is hating life right now a lot. It does miss, but he still has a tough 1v2 on his hands with like the crossfire Orgless has set up right now, and the fact that he still has to try to grab this bomb and time's running out.
Now, why isn't Drake pushing up a little bit more to meet his teammate?
I don't know, but
I guess it doesn't matter. Dumore still gets him.
Yeah, I mean, Relics had no choice there, though, right? Like, you have to push somebody in a 1v2 like that, especially whenever the CTs know that they've killed so much clock. Like, you have to make a play because you're not going to be able to safely plant the bomb. And like I said, time's ticking. So Relics does a necessary action, but I mean, he had low HP and he goes down. So Orgless are going to be able to win the half there, but 8, that's pretty low for CT side Inferno, right? Like, you're expecting to get 10 plus. 10 probably no problem. Definitely at least 9. But 10 is usually very common to get. And obviously, we've seen plenty of teams be able to put up, you know, numbers like 12 or so. So to be limited to 8, it's definitely not a good spot to be in. In all their match history this season, they've gotten more out of the CT side than that. But I have to say, Enemy has had a history of being able to put up some pretty decent T sides against the mid-tier pro teams. This is probably the second or third game I've seen them put up 6 or 7 rounds on Terra side of Inferno. So that's pretty decent consistency, I guess. Though it is still a limited amount of games so far this season. But you know, they definitely got the job done there, so they're definitely in the favored position. Already up, and with that said, I mean, Orgless, you know, pistol is a necessity at this point. Otherwise, you're just going to allow Enemy to roll with a big CT side. And granted, I have seen instances like when Enemy played 3s up, they actually only got 9 CT rounds in the first half of that game, so they had to have a big T side to win that map. So we have seen them sometimes struggle on T side or CT side, excuse me, I guess, as we just saw Orgless do. So I mean, it's not out of the question that Orgless could still bring this back, but Enemy in good position to tie out the series. I know they did drop overpass to Orgless just a moment ago, so they could still hunt for the tie. But like I said, it's not out of the realms of possibility for Orgless to still maybe win this series. And I mean, I have to say, Orgless has been, to me, pretty impressive compared to last season. I mean, they tied Mythic, they beat 3s up, they tied Follow Esports, so they haven't dropped a series yet. And tonight, you know, winning that first match, they already ensured they still wouldn't lose this game either. So they definitely kind of turned things around in comparison to last season. And meanwhile, Enemy, you know, a newcomer to the league, we've seen them kind of struggled to start. I mean, they already have a couple of losses to Liquid and Method, but they were able to get the tie on 3s up, and they have a chance, really good chance to tie up this series as well. So they're starting to come around. And I know they just got their 5 together. They just got Mainline as an in-game leader. They were just breaking Relics into the team as well. They had just lost a couple of people, Ryu moving to a coach position and ZNF, I guess, getting cut or whatever. So obviously they are going through a change. But Orgless is kind of the same boat. I mean, they just picked up Stanislaw not too long ago. So I mean, they've had a slight change as well.
All right, and getting the first round of the second half going now. See what they buy. Looks like DTs have few Kevlar. They do have a kit on Kusta and 2 flashbangs. Meanwhile, terrorists are opting pretty much
Just
all
heavy
for
Glock
Kevlar.
armor. Yeah,
they do have a smoke, though.
Right, they have 1 smoke on Drake, 1 flash, 1 nade. So typically you're going to have like 1 person sacrifice for utility here. And Stanislaw, they're going to catch Relics. Uber going to be alone, and they're going to be pressing fast. So he needs to reset, but he does have the P250, but just not hitting the shots here.
It was a nice flash, but he just couldn't make anything out of it. They just ran in like bats out of hell, and he couldn't stop it no matter what. And now they've got to retake this. Only 3 CTs left. They got a nice little stack there behind Nubox there. Peeking out. Invert managing to catch mainline. And it's all over. Orgless wins that round.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that fast B hit. I mean, unless you're expecting your opponent to stack B, I mean, once you get that initial pick on B, you know there's only one there, and you just overrun it with Glock armor and just closing the distance and being able to grab the frags. And yeah, I mean, we saw there on the CT side, I mean, he had the P250. He had a nice flash go off as well, but he just couldn't connect any shots. And at that point, when Orgless recovers from the flash, they're just able to capitalize on that. So they will close out that round. So, I mean, that was a round they really needed after having such a poor CT side that helps you stay in the game. They can just hold off getting ecoed here and get it to 11 rounds. That gives them a bit more breathing room. They have a little bit less work to do once the guns come out to play.
Kind of
that
interesting.
Gives them a better chance.
Kind of interesting buy choices here from Orgless. I think they did this on Overpass as well, where they would get 2 Galils, 2 P90s, and a Mac 10. It seems like that's kind of their standard setup. They choose to do this.
You just know you're going up against upgraded pistols, and that's what the SMGs are built for. Ever since they got buffed with the moving accuracy, I mean, this is what they're for, is just to try to bust pistols.
But because you've got a couple of Galils in there, you've got a little more range to work with, too.
Look at this head stack at brackets.
Dang.
Oh, man.
3v3 now. Anomaly backing off into A site. He's going to get chased, though. Do more flanking here. They're all closing in on him fast. Invert manages to take him down. Bomb's going to get planted. And now Relics and Uber have to take this back. Uber does have a P90, though, but he's only got 29 health. I think they've...
I mean, Uber picks up a P90, so I mean, this is still a gun that can be very effective, like even next round, trying to steal a round back. And Relics has 5/7 head armor. That's definitely worth saving as well. So they can actually still pose a pretty decent threat next round if they can hold on to these guns. So that's definitely worth doing, and we'll see if they get away with it here. I mean, it looks like this player here, Uber, it looks like he's not going to get touched. I mean, they're all running right by him. It'll be Relics and B that might get caught, but it looks like he should be safe as well.
You hear them coming at least, because Jumor sprayed at the car there a little bit, so he knows to take cover right now, and he does survive, no problem.
Yep, so I mean, with this P90 on Uber and the fact that Relics has 5/7 armor as well, you can see them make some type of play with it. Maybe try to push something, get that P90 in Orgless' face and try to get some kills and back him up with some pistols. That could definitely be an option. Maybe up B or something like that. Or maybe get that P90 pushed inside of apartments. Looks like for now they are going to put Uber alone with the P90 and B. And I actually don't like this because there's no way to recycle that gun and put it back to use if he dies.
That's
and
true,
if they don't go B, then he's just out of the play. And that's your main firepower to try to make a play happen this round.
Yep. They're storming in on A-No, but managed to... Okay, things are happening really fast, and now it's only 2v1. The P90's still in play, but again, it wasn't really any help, just all alone over on B here. Yep. He's going to be pushing through the smoke, throws a smoke of his own, trying to get Stanislaw there. Seeing if he can salvage the round, but no, Stanislaw takes him down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess having the P90 at B in a close range spot's good, and it allows you like ease of mind to put 4 at A and try to stack it and hope for the best with pistols. But in reality, I just always think it's better to surround that one gun you've saved. That way, like I said, you can recycle it.
Yep.
You can keep it in play longer if that person goes down. but just didn't work out there. Orgless 11-7 scoreline here, so they've recovered. I mean, now they put themselves in contention of the game again, whereas if Enemy would have won pistol, it's probably, you know, likely a one-sided game. So Orgless, you know, they played themselves back into it, but can they actually take it a step further? Can they actually, you know, extend the lead, force Enemy to save if they lose this round, maybe get up to 13-7? I mean, that's kind of what's on the table right now. And as of now, they're just, you know, working default, you know, just 2-1-2, nothing too crazy. Enemy setup is pretty default as well, but also quite passive. They don't even have any information on mid, so that can hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, but they drop the bomb at T stairs there, so that if they do manage to get a pick somewhere, they just grab that and go wherever it needs to go. If it was, you know, up banana and they got to pick at A, it'd take a while longer to get that bomb into play. But it looks like they are starting to group up towards A here, down mid and alt mid and apartments.
Yeah, I mean, Kusa does have that op at Moto, so you can kind of help back and forth. You can watch Arch, but you can also support if they start spilling out of apartments into pit. And they do, in fact, have, like, mainline anomaly crossfiring the lane. So they're still have a pretty decent setup to defend against this. And here Orgless goes, up mid into the lane.
Yep, they're charging in now. Mainline manages to catch one up in the apartments. Can he get another? No, he turns away just before Stanislaw comes out. But he comes out just in time for him to get spotted again. And that's another round for EnemyGG.
Yeah, it's so hard to get up lane, especially if you haven't done anything to cause people to move around or rotate, and they're just going to be able to. And that's pretty typical, right? To kind of have one Arch watching Moto Rap and to kind of have one lane or one apartment. So you're either going to have some type of double pit or some type of slight pit crossfire, and it's just so hard to check every single little angle as you're coming up lane. You know, check all different cracks by the truck, check the pit, check graveyard. You know, make sure no one's on top of the balcony. And then you have to clear out the site as well. So it can just be really difficult to clear all of that. And it's so compacted space as well. And yeah, they just got run through the ringer there. And so Enemy will take the opening gun round. They will force Orgless onto Tech 9s. And this is where Enemy can start building up their CT side, right? And get back into this map.
Yeah, it looked like briefly one of the CTs was going to rotate, but he changed his mind. But now that they're charging into A, they're definitely going to have to rotate. Anomaly working this pit here, trying to take down Invert. He's only got 20 health left. He manages to get Stanislaw as he jumped into the pit to challenge him. And now Invert all alone with that op. Three of them coming for him.
Oh, poor guy. I mean, he's stuck in a small space with an op with little HP. And I mean, that's just going to be, you know, too difficult for him. So he does go down. And so Enemy able to steal a couple of rounds here, get back into the game. And here's when you can just start rolling on the CT sides. I mean, Enemy's loving this. You know, they're starting to get comfortable. They're starting to find their footing. And, you know, Orgless, you know, winning pistol and stuff, got themselves back in the map. But here's where Enemy can just overtake them again. We are going to see Orgless be able to force together some type of buy here, but low utility on a couple of players. And obviously, you got Stanislaw, just a Tech 9, and a couple of wheels only in play. So this could get tough. And all that fire. Stanislaw trying to push through. What are you doing? I don't know, man. I guess he was hoping he was going to be able to get through the fire with enough health to still peek somebody and catch him off guard with the Tech 9, but that wasn't the case. He didn't get through in time.
Even if he had survived the fire, I think he would have gotten shot immediately with only 5 health left. You know, he was just committing suicide basically with that push.
I mean, like you said, like CTs expect you not to push that, so you can catch people off guard. I've definitely seen plays like that work where you push through the fire by yourself and you get a pick and then everyone else can follow you after the fire's gone down. But yeah, he just didn't have that well calculated, right? Didn't actually have the ability to get past it without dying. And that's a man down already for Orgless, but they're still going to try to go for a late B hit, but, you know, 2 people in position here.
Yep, they flashed and pushed through the smoke now. Relic's kind of caught off guard there. Drake getting Uber. Now it's 4-on-3. One's going to get planted. Mainline spamming through the smoke. Throws a grenade. And now, are they backing off? Are they just going to save their guns, or are they trying to rotate all the way through Banana? That seems... No, they must just be trying to save.
I mean, with the 3 loss bonus of 2,400 coming in next round, and you got guys like Relics and Uber who would only be at, like, what, like 2,800 and then $3,100. So at least this way, you could see people with higher money, like Anomaly, be able to drop somebody, and they could have a full gun round next round. So it's definitely a good call here. To make sure you get a full gun round next round and try and do a 3 before retake in the positions they were in, which is going to be too difficult. So definitely like this decision. Plus, they get to save an op for next round as well. So this is all well and good for Enemy. But at the same time, I mean, Orgless snuck another round in there, right? So, I mean, now they have it at 12-9. You know, they're on the verge of breaking Enemy into a save, especially if they can win this round. And that could mean they can get to 14-9 with ease, you know, if they can win this one here.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Orgless. That's for sure. I mean, I would say EnemyGG, even though they do have, you know, smoke usage, Orgless is really comfortable with flashing and just pushing through that smoke. You know, they're not too afraid of that, I don't think. And now Stanislaw getting boosted here to peek over the smoke, and Banana doesn't see anyone at car.
Were you going to say something? Too aggressive. You know, just playing pretty decent back here. Uber and Relics, they still do have smokes as well, an Incendiary on Relics. So it's one of those situations where they're gonna be able to smoke out B until the last 20 seconds or so. So if it is in fact gonna be a late B hit for Orgless, there might be in for a rough time.
Yep. Everyone's just being very
there's smoking for March as well. Yeah, I mean,
there it is.
They're gonna get so bummed out if they do a late B hit. They're gonna have to force themselves to smoke. That's what
here comes flashes, and they push through the fire too. Stanislaw down to 54 health, very blind, gets taken down by Uber. But now it looks like they're working towards A because they're expecting the CTs to have been rotated over to B. And now they're working to clear out this one in pit. They managed to get him. And they get Kusta, who's waiting for them.
I mean, they forced such a big rotate with Stanislaw pushing through that fire and smoke, and they hurt a lot of other numbers there as well, pushing into the pool. And so they're just way out of position, right? And in fact, it forces them to just take another safe situation like a couple of rounds ago until Orgless gonna get up to 13, but Enemy saving these 3 rifles. They should be able to drop somebody as well, but their money, you know, is getting tight again. So I mean, the moment Orgless can break through, I mean, they might get to like a free map point if they win next round. So it's still a lot of pressure on Enemy since they are on limited economy. And I mean, that was just well done from Orgless. And I'll also note that it's really weird seeing Stanislaw play this role. On all the previous teams he was on, he was like in-game bleeding or being a support player, sometimes even a lurker, but in many of the games I've seen so far on this team, that he's been a big entry fragger for them. In fact, in almost all the games I've watched so far, and he's putting up good numbers doing it. You know, he's at 24 this game, including see here, just from the T side alone, he's 6 and 5. He had a really big CT side. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. They're getting production out of him in so many different roles.
Yep. Now, EnemyGG, let's hope they get this round, because I don't think they can really manage to save anymore. If there's another 4-on-3 and they decide to save, it's really going to start cutting it close. So they're going to need to start committing to retakes, I think, even if it is riskier for them if they're a man down or whatever. They just got to start taking these chances, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting tough for Enemy because Uber's already down to pretty low HP. They're on limited economy. They're on like 1 FAMAS. They still have a lot of nades though, but yeah, they would pretty much be forced to save for the tie or like do a really horrible force by to try to prevent a map point for Orgless and eventually a match point. So they're definitely feeling the pressure here. Orgless going to be going for a late B hit here in just a minute, but they do have Draw Soul. Maybe they make enough noise at A to hold those 3 players there. Or try to do some type of backstab on the rotation. Not sure what his purpose is going to be just yet, but it definitely appears like Orgless wants to hit to the B-bomb site after the smoke dissipates. But there is an Incendiary as well coming out from Relics, but he's going to back off with it.
Yep, and just Uber just kind of hiding there over by Dark with 13 HP. He's got another Molotov to toss out there, preventing any sort of...
it went into the smoke, though, so it doesn't actually have an effect. And when the smoke dissipates, there's plenty of time for Orgless to spill out.
That's really not good. If he was trying to stop this late B push, then, you know, he kind of screwed that one up. But that's okay. Now they'll just have to hold it the old-fashioned way with guns. Relics taking down Stanislaw. Kusta getting Drake. And now it's a... it's a 3-on-3.
Oh, they didn't check
Uber's
Uber.
Still surviving. Oh, there. Managed to take down Dumore. He's a survivor, I tell you what. Now Draw Soul all alone. And I mean, he's just going to save because they're going to get that defuse.
Absolutely. I mean, Enemy's a little bit fortunate there because, you know, like that when that Molotov went into the smoke, it ruined doing any damage, and it really ruined slowing down the push. But it was Orgless just not clearing out the entire site, you know, not checking their dark spots. Uber was able to surprise them. Also, they had a pretty good rotation come in there as well from a teammate inside construction to be there in time to help out. So I mean, a good recovery from Enemy, despite a little bit of a hiccup on the nades. They still moved across the map well enough to be in position there, and they win a really key round. Like I said, if they lose that, you know, they're saving. Orgless probably waltzes into a 15th round, and then from there, you have to win out to force an overtime, like 6 in a row, and that would have been really rather difficult for Enemy. So
Drossel kind of messed up his grenade throw there. I think he was trying to get it through the window, see if there was anyone in Boiler who might get chipped by that. Now, Mainline and Drake having a little battle there, but Invert manages to catch Mainline off guard. Now Kusta getting a shot with that op. Backing off a little bit after he flashes. Kind of flubbed the flash a little bit, but it'll still work. And Drossel smoking out in pit. Oh no, but there was one waiting for him right on that balcony railing. And Kusta missing his off shot as they charge in and take him out.
Like, no one's
3 on 3.
And Newborn finds him. Ouch.
Relics and Uber definitely can't afford to save this round. They just got to try to clutch this.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, this might be the only 2 guns they would have next round that contest Orgless going for map point. But, I mean, yeah, they're still going to go for it anyway. In a 2 versus 3, they're going to push themselves into the site here. Uber does get a kill on the Stanislaus, so now it's a 2-on-2.
Man, Relic's shaking his camera all over the place, trying to search for any of them. And it's too late. Dumor survives with 4 health that round.
Right. And, I mean, now they can't really buy anything. I mean, I guess Uber can drop some pistols here, drop some CZs or 5.7s, whatever he has equipped. But other than that, I mean, they have to kind of concede Orgless and allow them to get to map point. And that was just well done from Orgless. I mean, being able to get up mid and find those picks, you know, press through lane. Kusta's op was in the site playing close range battles that he didn't win. And, I mean, Orgless are putting together their own quite nifty T side. I mean, I thought Enemy, after the end of the first half, I would have said they're the favorite to win the map. But Orgless has done well here on the T side. And it seems like every time Enemy wins a really key round to save their economy and stay in the game, they'll lose a straight up round right away, right afterwards. So they couldn't string it together.
Yeah, now Kusta peeking in a little bit. Stanislaus shooting back at him. Doesn't manage to get him. He smoked it off now. Stanislaus still kind of spamming through the smoke, seeing if he can catch one. Backing off now a little bit.
I mean, Enemy stacking the B bomb site here, gambling. I mean, they kind of have to have a chance to win this round, and 3 guys on USP. So I mean, they're really tight here on utility. So they just have to kind of hope that Orgless pushes into this B bomb site and that they can hit their shots.
Yeah, it really looks like they're about to set up for that. But Drossel, if he manages to get a pick at A, they might change their mind. Looks like one more is going to be joining him.
Or if he just figures out there's no one here.
Yeah.
They can still react off of that.
Yeah, it looks like they're totally abandoning Banana now, heading towards A. The CTs are still stacked up on B. There's one rotating through CT spawn right now. Mainline all alone to try to hold this site, taking off his silencer.
That's so weird. The fact that he didn't get caught taking it off is also kind of a miracle in itself, and he gets 1 kill. But
I'm wondering if that was just a misclick and he decided to just stick with it and just like, okay, it's coming off. I'll get the shot anyway.
Sorry, I'm immature. Anyway, we are now at Orgless at map point here, 15-10. Stack does not work out, and even here, Enemy pretty limited. I mean, they're going to get a FAMAS only on main line. Anomaly needs to get, I guess, he'll get an M4, and he does have armor. Kusta does get his outs. I mean, they still put together a pretty decent buy. The problem is they don't actually have any real smokes. They have 2 smokes. One just went off now to block off the Banana, but a late B hit, the smokes are going to run out, actually. They're not going to be able to hold it off, and Orgless doesn't care. They're just going to really just press through this, it looks like.
Yep, throwing a lot of nades up Banana, but I don't think they did any damage.
Nope.
CTs are playing really close on Banana this round.
Yeah, they're just trying to play the smoke while it's up, just hoping to catch someone, just trying to press through. But Orgless, not doing it, not being stubborn, not trying to just, run through it. As we've seen, Stan's already try to make some efforts like that, but not this time. He's playing it a bit more patient. He knows the game is on the line at this point, and he'll just wait, and now he'll work himself up here. And there's only 1 smoke left on Kusta, and I mean, he's nowhere near throwing it for Banana, so it could be that B hit. Man.
Is Kusta going to manage to spot Drossel? No. Drossel is kind of holding his position. Now he's creeping up towards Arches. Looks like they're executing on B.
Oh. But mainline shutting this down. Relics uses the opportunity to push through a smoke and grab a couple of kills as well, and that couldn't have gone worse for Orgless, and it actually looked pretty well set up. They had a deep smoke on CT spawn. They had the stairs blocked off, so that gave them a lot of room to, push into CT spawn, wrap around construction. They had so many options with those smokes, but mainline jumping in and playing the edge of that deep CT spawn smoke and grabbing 2 kills, getting those kills, and then, like I said, causing the distraction for Lux to get in and find 2 as well. And before you know it,
I was expecting something to happen, and then I was waiting for it, and it never happened. I was expecting Drossel to kind of push Arches a little bit more and get that flank, get that kill off the one that's rotating through CT spawn, but he never quite pushed up and
Right.
things didn't go so well for his team over at B.
I mean, mainline made a huge play. Like I said, getting 2 kills and allowing a distraction for another player to slip in. I mean, that's just hands down just an MVP type play to do that and save the game. At least for now. They still need to win 4 more in a row to force an overtime. So it's still a tall task ahead, but that was just so well done.
Yeah, I'm sure if they just execute on A again, they'll probably Orgless will probably be able to get this round and win the match.
Yeah, the way this half is played out, you'd think Orgless eventually finds the round here, but
they had 2 up in
Kusta-
apartments. That's kind of unusual, but I guess they're just really want to make sure that they have A control, that they don't get pushed through these apartments.
How did Drake get out? Okay, I couldn't believe he just walked out unspotted, but you know, mainline eventually directs his attention there and grabs the kill, saving Anomaly's life there inside the pit. So Orgless down to 3 members left there. It looks like they're just going to try to push through mid and hope for the best here in this 3v3 on the A site.
Yeah, they're at fairly good disadvantage here, but I'm sure they'll be brave enough to push through here. Maybe not. They're not going to push through that fire. They don't want to get roasted again.
Enemy's already rotated as well. There's already 2 people here by Arch, so 4 in the A area.
Yep. You know, Stanislav blind, kind of just trying to see if he gets one at Arches, but there's no one there to meet him. He's pushing through the smoke now. Kusta turning away at just the wrong time, but he was blind, so he couldn't see Kusta. And now Kusta getting that double kill with that triple kill, saving that round. Well, not saving it, but dominating that round, really.
Yeah, quad kill round there for Kusta. That was a really big round there from him to actually put him back into a positive KD ratio after having kind of a tough game. So big play there from Kusta, and they just need 3 more plays like that to force this in OT. And I mean, they have Orgless on a save this round, so this one, you know, should work out well, and then they'll just need 2 more, and that's certainly manageable on the CT side. But I mean, the way this half is played out, it always seems like after Enemy gets a couple of rounds going, Orgless come right back with one of their own. Like, we've never seen Enemy streak more than 2 rounds together this half, so they had that working against them, but you know, we'll see if they can do it here at the end.
Yeah, they didn't really opt for buying much. They got a couple of P250s, but they didn't go Tech 9s. They didn't get armor. Just kind of, I guess they don't really care too much if they lose this round. They're saving all their money for the next one. Reckless taking down 2 in CT spawn. Anomaly getting Stanislaw, and now it is 2-on-3, 1-on-3. Drake just trying to stay alive here on the A site.
That was a cool name you gave him, Reckless. I like it.
Wait, oh, sorry, Relics.
No, that was awesome.
No, I keep making that mistake, though. It's Relics, but for some reason the spelling just keeps throwing me off sometimes. Mostly I've said Relics, but sometimes I say Reckless.
That was the first time I heard you mess up, so I mean, you're doing pretty good.
Oh, you missed the previous match then.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, that was pretty cool, though. And
people keep tweeting me like, you're saying people's names wrong. I'm sorry. It happens.
Yeah, guys, I mean, you have to understand this is actually his second night casting live matches ever, so just give him some time, folks, as he learns the role. But definitely glad to have you here, man. It's always fun casting with you. The 2 times I've done it. As, you know, Drake is trying to hold on to this AK here in the apartments, but we do have someone giving chase, and that's going to be Anomaly, but we'll see if he actually catches up to Drake in time. I think he's heard Drake moving around, so they know where he is, but they can actually push into him and grab the kill is the next question, and Anomaly will have his chance here in a sec.
Yeah, he does manage to get Anomaly. Just survives the round.
So AK
taking
has
that
been
gun.
saved. And that was just a good catch, like Kusta being able to make the proper call if they're attacking Arch, and Relic's able to, you know, rotate in the CT spawn and take care of it. So holding off the eco round is Enemy, but now it's another full buy round here from Orgless, and I mean, they've been pretty successful at these, right? I mean, they've been able to fit in 4 gun rounds so far this half. Or I guess 3 gun rounds, rather. There was 1 round where Enemy was saving that they won. So still 3 gun rounds this half. They just need to find 1 more to close out this map. Enemy needs to win 2 in a row here to force the overtime. And I mean, I don't know which is more likely. Like I said, Enemy's really struggled to streak rounds together on the CT side, but they've already streaked together 3 in a row. They just need 2 more here.
Yeah, again, they're working these apartments. I think they feel that they're a little bit more vulnerable over here versus the B site, especially because of all the smokes that they can throw. Bomb still is holding at T stairs, though. Probably looking towards Banana to make sure they don't push him. Drake now flashing out of Boiler. I guess he was just peeking a little bit. I thought he was going to push out, but he didn't. Not at that moment, anyway.
I mean, Orgless has brackets control now, but there's another rotation here from Enemy. So they have 2 at Arch now. Two still over that lane. We could still see Orgless fall off into a late B hit. Enemy's not really sure. They're not pressed up, so they don't have the information on where Orgless really is. That's forcing them to start even backtracking. Orgless already back to B, and even mainline's cheated into the CT spawn. Kusta coming to Art, so they're definitely kind of concerned here. They don't really know where Orgless is positioned, and Dumore using that up to his advantage to slip into the arch.
Yeah, only 30 seconds left. I would think that they're just going to have to hurry up and try to get a pick and then take the bomb somewhere, but Dumore managing to find Kusta, and now here they come all towards A site with only 16 seconds left to get this bomb plant.
Yeah, they should get it, but there is one inside the pit, and that's the big concern here. But Invert's got the pick, and Arch and Anomaly is taken care of, so that means the bomb can go down, and they have a really strong 4-on-2 post-plant positioning here. So this is going to be really tough for Enemy.
Looking like GG, and there it is. Invert with the double kill, winning the match.
Yeah, they couldn't even get started on a retake. Their Invert just meets them up close and personal there at the archway. So that's Orgless winning the series. So they've, like I said, really put together a good season so far. I mean, they've gotten a couple of wins now. They've had a couple of ties against good teams also. They've yet to lose. So, like I said, a much different season for them than last season with their new pickups. Meanwhile, Enemy struggling to adapt with this new lineup. I mean, that's their third loss this season. Plus, they have a tie against 3-up. So still no wins for them yet, with, like I said, the 3 losses already. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have too much to say about the first map because I wasn't really around for the whole thing. But, I mean, that map, I thought Enemy did a great job on T side. You could see Orgless struggle on CT, and Enemy was, doing work. They got 7 rounds, but, I mean, they also struggle on their own CT side, and that's what, lost it for them.
Yep.
And, I mean, with that said, we are done for tonight, but definitely not done for the week. So definitely go ahead and bookmark this channel over here at MLG.TV, as starting tomorrow on the 31st, Monday, we do have a couple of European games going on starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so you can check that out. Also, for North America tomorrow night, I will be back. I'll be with Misled, and we'll be casting 3-up versus Luminosity at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Counterlogic Gaming versus Complexity at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. And we cast, Sunday through Thursday, week in and week out, leading up to our LAN in November. So daily CS coverage here. We also have a weekend tournament coming up that hasn't been announced yet, but it will be announced soon. So, even more Counter-Strike on the way with a cool North American tournament. So, yeah, just definitely follow up here. You can also give us casters a follow. We'd appreciate that. Well, give me a follow over at Dust Moret. You can also give a follow over here to K Smooth. What is it? Kyle
Johnson VA.
VA. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
You can keep tweeting me with all the names I mispronounce. I'll get them right eventually.
Yeah.
Just beat the knowledge into my brain, please.
Also give a follow to our caster from the first map, as well as our producer. It's going to be Helium Umbrella over on Twitter as well. He's also an epic artist, throwing down the artwork inside the map at times. And also give a follow over to @CEVO and @MLG, and send them any feedback as well, so we can work to improve the product. And last but not least, I think you can still apply for jobs here at CEVO if you're looking to do casting work, production work, in-game observing, or any type of video or image editing. We can definitely use your help if you're talented in those areas and want a shot. So check out cevo.com/jobs and send in, your application, maybe some sample work, and we'll definitely see about maybe giving you a shot to get on board here on the CEVO staff. But that's about it. Thanks a lot for tuning in tonight, folks. We will see you tomorrow.